Anya is my new waifu, ooh.
Mikoi, that's illegal.
Hey everyone, this is Mikoi and welcome back to the next episode of the BLT IX podcast. I am joined once again by...
Poker 2004. And Miko, that is not even something you should say as a joke. If you're gonna make that joke, put your instead.
That's why I did it in the cute anime girl voice so that I wouldn't be caught, you know, doing that. Anyway, whatever. Off topic. Last time.
But Mikoi, that's just not a joke you make, okay?
I know. I'm
that
sorry.
goes like 6.
I know. Last time we've covered the BLT IX reactions, and I didn't make a video on it, unfortunately, but I have posted my rankings for each team, which you can be found in the thread, in the main thread at least.
As a member of the Laprases and being totally unbiased as a result, I agree with those rankings very much.
And yes, while I am supporting a team of my own, I will be staying unbiased throughout the course of this podcast to make sure that everyone is fair and equal. And you must be too, Pokeart.
Yes,
Even though
I'm
you're on a
already
team.
being very fair and equal with how I agree so much with your power rankings. Totally unbiased.
Alright, so before we cover predicts, which will be the main focus on this video, 2 matches have already been played. I am severely resenting more and more of these no johners. Alright.
What'd you expect?
I know. But, yeah. So, the matches that have already been played, Anarchius versus Unsips Kroger and Zeo Trip versus Splash, we're going to go through them right now. So, first match that actually played is very early, Anarchius versus Kroger. This happened like 11 minutes after the thing was posted.
Yeah, it was pretty much a right freaking now.
So, going through the matches, and now that we've actually watch these. So as you can see, the teams that they brought are pretty interesting. Anarchius has a more unconventional set than Kroger, who pretty much brought balanced and bulky, and a bulky kind of team, or maybe hyper offensive if you're feeling ballsy. Meanwhile, Anarchius brought.
Anar kind of brought balance too.
Yeah. So, going through the matches.
Just like maybe more bulky offense if you're feeling
uh,
ambitious, but it is pretty balancy.
Yeah, so Anarchius actually brought a pretty odd Eldegoss set, a Leaf Storm and Rapid Spin with Rocky Helmet, which I thought was pretty odd.
I don't know if I can call that set odd, considering Eldegoss being in NU is an odd enough sight for me.
Really? Well, what is the normal
That's
set
a
usually?
Pokemon, isn't it?
I think so, yeah. But it did serve its purpose
so I
well.
can't even say what the normal set is here.
Yeah.
Because it's not normal in NU.
Oh well. Some notes to highlight for this match. Vaporeon can actually stall Starmie well, which I know Vaporeon's a special tank, but the way it just walled Starmie like crazy, it's actually pretty interesting. It can live at least a Life Orb Thunderbolt. Or 2.
It can live 2.
Yeah. And yeah.
No, it can live. Well, yeah, it can live 2. 3 is iffy.
Yeah, it can wall pretty much. All Unzips Kroger can really do is just try to paralyze it, which, unfortunately for him, it didn't work. And then...
Yeah, the Vaporeon might have had Heal Bell.
Maybe, yeah.
So I don't think that really mattered.
Yeah, and fortunately, as the game went on, Kroger, I noticed something about Kroger. He tends to click more than rather thinking. Like, he tends to not really predict.
I mean, we didn't rank him very high in player rank.
Yeah, despite everyone kind of praising him for being an OLT qualifier, I just don't find him that interesting, honestly. So...
You see, that's OLT. This is NU.
True. So yeah, and of course the big thing that happened here is Zarina is one. Well, for once, Kroger brought not natural cure Starmie, which is kind of weird. Also,
That might actually be normal.
really, all right, but also the fact
I
of
mean, it just kind of depends on the kind of Stormy you want to run.
I guess
Like,
so.
maybe on a more balanced team, you might run natural cure to take toxics and switch out later.
True. Or you could just bring bulky
Or
and rapid spin it off. Or unless you're life orb, of course.
Yeah, and in this case, it was a more offensive Starmie.
Yeah. And of course, the big thing that happened was, I think this is Assault Vest Serena, which is already iffy, but the fact that it died and not being able to rapid spin away the spikes gave Anarchius pretty much a free leeway to just set up and sweep. Set up hazards, I mean, and then sweep.
I watched the whole game live, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I was not really impressed by this game. It kind of just felt like Anarchus was slowly but surely just whittling away at Unzips Kroger the entire time.
And yeah, then that
And
just
Unzips
goes.
Kroger was making unsuccessful attempts to break his team.
Yeah, and in the end, Anarchist showed that why he is the man in NU. Probably the biggest NU get. Again, the Rosaritos are having a field day, especially in this next match. Next up, we have Zio Trip versus Splorch that happened today, like 6 hours ago, I think. By the time I'm recording this video,
I did not see this live, but I have seen it.
Interesting that Zio won, especially since I don't really recall Zio playing a lot of singles. I thought he just played 1v1.
Oh, so he's a 1v1 player.
I
So
think
that's
so.
why
I
people
think
keep being
so.
like, why did PA draft all the 1v1 players?
No wonder. And no wonder, because Zio actually proved to be pretty good, pretty decent in singles tiers. So yeah, taking a look at this game. Zio Trip actually brought two flyers, but both of them act differently because Sigilif actually brought a pretty uncommon but also kind of a OP set with Psycho Shift, Calm Cosmic Power, I think, or Calm Mind. Yeah, Calm Mind, Air Slash, and Roost.
I think it was Calm Mind, yeah.
Yeah, Calm Mind, Air Slash, and Roost, which is a pretty OP set if you're not careful. If you're not careful breaking this thing, you're gonna have a hard time. So, yes, Brazilian Splash didn't really have any options to take care of that thing, honestly. And then Pangoro came in and just kind of. Pangoro was pretty much the defining factor. Even with Sigilif getting a lucky flinch on Togekiss right about here. Um, didn't really help matters. Didn't really help matters for Splorge. It just became a lot harder for him to win the game after that. So yeah, and here is the Pangoro, and here is the moment where it really turned the tide for Zio Trip. The close combat on the Delmise, which actually Okos, because it is scrappy.
Yep.
So yeah.
And probably banded.
Yep. Oh yeah, definitely. Pangoro always runs Choice Band, I think, in RU. But yeah,
well, that's good to know. I don't play this tier.
So yeah, even Suicune couldn't stop. Even trying to do the setup sweep Suicune didn't really help Splorch in the long run, considering it had its only rest and not sleep talk. But yeah, and even with Togekiss trying to pull off
I mean, of course it only had
Ice Beam.
I mean, of course it didn't have Sleep Talk because it was Ice Beam.
Yeah, it had Ice
Which
Beam rather
means
than Sleep
it had
Talk.
Scald too. It
Yeah.
had to have Scald.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
it was kind of unfortunate that Scorch was using a set of Suicune versus, well, two
Everything else.
things that are immune to water types.
Yep, Dry Skin and Storm Drain will do that to you, unfortunately. And
Yeah.
So yeah, Zia won, which is very impressive. I would have predicted Splash if this game hadn't happened, but surprising to say, Zia won and actually impressed me. So good job. So with that out of the way,
Also,
okay.
Scorch just didn't generally play well.
You think so? I
He
think
let his Flygon get crippled.
I guess so. Yeah. If he hadn't switched it out, he would have he would have sweeped it with Flygon, and then he would have had an easier time winning.
And besides, he allowed it to just freaking die by
Sack.
letting it get hit by the Rocky Helmet Gastrodon, because, well, that was a bit of a surprise set to me, but still, like, you learn from your mistakes the first time, but you let it happen again.
Oh well. Oh well. Live and learn. Live and learn. So yeah, the Milotics are down 2-0 to the Rosaritos' favor. But let's go ahead and predict the rest of the Rosaritos versus Milotics first. So first off,
Alright, also just saying, no worries about forgetting Scrappy, because I might have done the same thing.
Yeah, same
That's
here.
a little hard to remember sometimes.
Yeah, Pangoro always carries Iron Fist or Mold
Into a
Breaker.
fighting type, so you think, oh, I'll switch into Ghost to gain momentum. It'll be immune, I'll gain the momentum, then I get 3 attacks off it.
Scrappy says what?
Goes.
Yeah, Scrappy
Whoops.
says what? Scrappy says, I'm gonna end this man's whole career. Alright.
Yeah, I really did say that.
Alright, getting back on track now. Now time to predict Rosarays versus Milotics. First up, in Ubers, we have 7U992 versus Michael Derbest 2. This one is going
It's a rough week 1 opponent.
Yep, poor 7U992. Yeah, you know, Michael Derbest may be just an OU main, but he's very good in other tiers, let me tell ya. He didn't get first place in Cycle 2 for nothing. And of course the multiple crowd ability outside tours room, getting all those Smogon points. But that's besides the point. Michael Derbest to win this Ubers game, I think. What about you?
It's a battle of people whose names end in 2.
Yeah. And who do you think is the better two?
Ask Magna if he pointed it out.
Thank you, Mac. Thank you, Mac, of course, for your awesome predicts. Alright.
Yes, Mac is the real savior here.
So yeah, Michael Derbest to win this one. Next up, we have Kyotoshi versus Spooky Z. The OU Live Tour winner versus a goat.
I want to see this.
I also want to see this game. I'm thinking Kyotoshi, but only slightly. What about you?
It's hard to say for me because, well, I've never seen Kyotoshi play in OU. I think
he's good.
It's one of his best. I know it's one of his best tiers, like between OU and RU, but like I just don't know if I've actually seen that.
He can hold his own in OU really
I've
well.
seen Spooky Z play some OU.
Would you say that Spooky Z's OU is? How would you compare Spooky Z's OU to like Kyotoshi's playstyle in general?
Hard to really say because I haven't seen a lot, only a little, and that might only have been in a room tour.
Okay, so yeah.
Or two.
So yeah, I'm thinking Kyotoshi to win only slightly. I think generally better player.
Yeah, Kyo is a goat in what he plays best.
Yep.
So
hard to stop Kyotoshi.
If he's that goat in RU and if OU is another one of his good tiers, I expect him to play quite well.
Yeah.
Although I will not underestimate Spooky Z. There's a lot of hype surrounding this guy.
Same here, yeah.
And how he does OU.
I won't be surprised if Spooky Z wins, but Kyotoshi, I think.
Yeah, this could be an upset.
Next up, we have another OU, Los Conosciuto versus Easy. Ooh, this is going to be a rough one for Los Cono.
It's pretty easy to say who wins this, I think.
Get it? Easy to say? Alright. Yeah, it's easy. I know Los Conosciuto is good in singles, but yeah, Easy is an OU main through and through, and
an OU goat,
yep.
Not just main.
You have experience with Easy before, and I can definitely see why. Easy is a freaking goat in OU, so you can bet your bottom dollar that he will win.
I got no bottom dollar to bet, but I think he'll win.
Alright. Next up, in SSUU, we have Plos versus Luthier. This one's going to be a fun one.
Please just say Plas like a normal person.
Plaz. Fine. Plaz versus Luthier. This is going to be a fun one, I bet. Both players can hold their own in UU.
Really? I don't know. I don't know if I've ever really seen Plas play it.
But of course, we had to pick the GOAT, Luthier, to win, right?
Yeah, unfortunately, it's Luthier.
Yeah, unfortunately for Plaza, UU with a Luthier can play any tier very well, and he's one of the best, most versatile players in the tournament. So I'm pretty much expecting a Luthier win here. But if Plaza can hold his own, that's good.
Yeah, I just don't quite see it.
Yeah.
I'll be happy if Plas pulls an upset, though, but I just don't really see it happening unless good MU.
Same here.
Or if he somehow really pulls out the big guns and outplays.
Yeah. I have faith though. Plas can, when under pressure, Plas can absolutely play well.
Under pressure.
All right. Next up, SSPU, Sice versus London 13. Close one. This.
I have no idea.
This is close because I haven't really seen both players play PU all that much. Maybe Sice.
I haven't seen either player recently.
Oh dear. I've seen Sice dabble in lower tiers more than London, so I think I'm gonna go with Sice on this one, but just slightly.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I haven't seen I know London is, and I remember how good he was back a while ago. I have not seen him recently at all, though.
Yeah, I haven't seen him play. I've only barely seen him play in room tours, and I don't know if he's as good as was. I know we ranked him. I know we ranked London C tier, but yeah, that's just basically how we feel. So I think Sice will take it.
I'm looking forward to finally seeing the guy play, though.
Yeah, same here. So yeah, Sice to win this one. Next up, SSLC, Kither versus Tobias, or Heroic Toby.
Oh.
This one's gonna be pretty interesting. Kither, we all know, plays LC, but Tobias actually dabbles a lot in LC as well. He has played in LC Open and LC Majors quite recently. So we know the guy's good in LC. So this will be fun. I think.
But did he do well in those?
I mean, he got to.
Doing well in those?
I think he got to round 5 in one of the two.
Alright.
So yeah. It should be a fun one, but I think in Kither, of course, I gotta go with the safe pick, Kither to win here, because come on,
that's Kither.
Yeah, that's a Kither game if I ever seen one. All right, next up, this will be the most curb stompy of curb stomp matches. I feel bad for Mamalu on this one.
Wait, what? You skipped one.
What?
You skipped mono.
No. We'll talk about mono. That's next. Let's talk about Next
No,
up is
it's not.
what?
Oh wait, it is.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess Macknife just listed it wrong. What the hell?
Alright, next up, SS Doubles. Probably the most curb stompy of curb stomp matches. I feel bad for Mamalu on this one.
Hey, he could pull out a Komodo and sweep.
that is if he's lucky that SMB doesn't build against Komodo. But yeah, SMB. You'd be a fool to not pick SMB.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I'd be a bit of a fool to not pick one of the supposed greatest doubles players of all time
yeah,
who shaped the meta or
yeah.
helped shape it
The
to
meta
some
was
extent.
built. The meta was built around SMB. So all right.
Yes, save line my day.
And finally, SS Monotype, we have Kev versus Luisen. This one's gonna be fun, but I'm thinking I will give this to Kev. I know Luisen plays mono, but is he as good
And
as
doubles.
and doubles? But is he as good as Kev? I don't know. I don't think so.
I honestly don't
So
know.
yeah, I'm thinking Kev because I think the experience plus the way he builds, of course, being the Bono leader and all, Kev can easily pick up a team and try to dominate that way. I'll of course win for his team. I believe in Kev.
Yeah, I imagine being mono leader has something to do with how good one is in the tier.
Yep. All right.
It would sure make you knowledgeable, I think.
That's true. That's true. All right. Next matchup, we have the Solgaleos versus your team, the Lavender Laprases. The first place team versus the eighth place team. How fitting.
Well,
Alright. First up, SS Ubers. Quilly versus Aberforth. Now, I've heard some people in the chat before that Quilly is actually good and Ubers is his main.
really.
Yes, and despite all that, I gotta go with the boy. I gotta go with Aberforth on this one. Because,
Honestly, I think you might. Honestly, who wouldn't go with Aberforth here?
you would be a fool
It's
not to.
Aberforth!
You would be a fool if you didn't go for Aberforth on this one.
Dude is possibly the best Ubers player in the pool.
Possibly is a keyword there. But yeah, Aberforth.
I mean, I don't quite know for sure, but probably is.
We're picking Aberforth to win this one. Next up, SSOU.
Yeah.
Next up, SSOU. This is actually a rematch from TPP, Airfare versus Reginald.
Oh.
And
Who won last time?
Airfare won last time, and
Oh no.
I think this will be the same story here. I think Airfare will win.
Oh.
I think Airfare will win this one. I think he's better experienced in OU, and comparing these two play skills, yeah, I think Airfare is better than Raji, unfortunately. So, yeah, I think Airfare should win this one. Next up, we have Blidius versus My Java. This one's going to be a close one.
Is it really?
Yeah, I've heard from, where is it? Oh yeah, World Cup World Cup starter, Blidius. So,
But has he won?
I don't know. I haven't checked. But, yeah.
Has he actually won some games? Is he actually
Maybe.
good?
Maybe. But my Java, past BLT experience, I don't know. I don't know how good my Java is nowadays. I know he's good back then, but nowadays I don't know. So this one's a tough one. I'm thinking to go with I'm thinking to go with Blidius, but only slightly. I won't be surprised if my Java
Hey,
wins.
that's insulting.
Just because he's your teammate,
I'm
Pokeyard.
seeing more people. I'm seeing more people going with my Java. I think.
You sure? Okay, if my Java ends up...
See, that guy went with my Java. Oh, that guy didn't go for my Java.
Uh,
Uh, he went for my Java.
oh, you're looking at other
I'm
predicts,
seeing
yeah.
people call Blidius bad.
Oh, well. I'm thinking to go with
I'm not
Blidius
actually
here.
sure.
Comparing these two, I think Blidius has a much more potentially driven game to win attitude more than my Java, so I think I'm gonna go with that.
Isn't my Java in a World Cup too, though?
I don't know. Maybe. But we'll see. We'll see what
Oh yeah,
happens.
I'm pretty sure he is playing for India, probably.
Okay. Good for him. Good for him.
I don't know. I don't know for sure, but like, I just recall that there was a little tension between. That there was just a tiny bit of tension in the Laprases chat because
Oh, you're.
Raji, I think he's on World Cup for UK, and we
Oh.
got Indians in our team, and apparently UK and
Oh.
India are facing this week.
The controversy within the Laprases. All right. So,
So they're just like, yeah, I'll drop my teams, but maybe I'll wait a little.
the playing because world supremacy is infiltrating BLT.
And
It
like, I
seems.
think Harshal is Indian too.
Oof. Okay.
Maybe.
Oh, why didn't
Or
Orshel play
no,
this week?
maybe
Oh
not.
well.
I don't actually know.
All right.
And then
Well.
we have Spitfire.
Oof. Okay. That's enough World Cup talk for now. For now,
Enough
let's focus for
Indians.
BLT. So yeah, I'm thinking Blidius, but I won't be surprised if my Java wins. It's 50-50 for me, but okay. Next up, we have SSUU, Phase Fatus or Oris Mega versus Udon Girl. This one's actually quite unpredictable, considering Udon Girl has been improving over the past couple of weeks.
And still bring some interesting things.
Yep, totally the Udon Girl. I'm thinking the safe pick is Oris Mega because he's a UU main, but Udon Girl is quite unpredictable. So I'm thinking to go with Order.
And despite Udon Girl actually going for like 15K or something,
That's a reasonable price.
MJ was calling them an underpay, a steal even.
We'll see about that. Well, I'm picking
He
Oras
said he was
Mega.
happy he got Udon Girl for so little.
Well, we'll see what happens,
Some,
but Oras Mega to win here. The safe pick is always the best pick. But if Udon Girl wins this, then good job, Udon Girl. You win one for the Laprases. All right, next up.
we've already won though.
Alright, next up we have SSRU. Probably everyone's favorite RU match. Not so with me, but we'll get to that. Floss versus Ars9. I'm thinking this would be an Ars9 win, but I won't say it's close. I'm thinking like a dominant performance from Ars9.
I guess, are you playing Floss doesn't do it for you, huh?
Yeah, RU get the pun. Alright. So yeah, Ars9. I was very iffy with Floss being an RU main, but for now I'm thinking Ars9 to win this one. Next up.
Yeah, I mean, he's the RU goat and all.
It's true. Alright, next up, SSNU.
Yeah.
SSNU time. Banbadoro versus Jiri. This won't be close at all.
Ben Badoro.
Yikes. He's an NU. Going up against the NU GOAT in Jiri. Oof times 45. Sorry, Mal. Alright.
Yeah.
Next up, we have SSPU Patek versus.
Let me just say, I'm glad Ziri's on my team this time.
Yep. Next up,
I don't want to be against him in the menu.
SSPU Patek versus T-Lenet. This one I think will be the closest PU match we'll see.
Not really.
Yeah, because I know both play PU and both are really well versed in PU. Both can absolutely play.
Oh.
So.
I'm not really familiar with Patek, so enlighten me.
Yeah, he's a PU main. He's been in a lot of different PU tours in Smogon. So. But I have to go with the PU goat himself, T-Lenet. I think he's genuinely the better player on this one, and he can if he doesn't f up or get hacked, he'll win because he's a good player.
Don't jinx it.
Yeah, that's my job. That's my job. I will jinx these players.
No, root for us, Mikla, please.
Next up, SSLC. One of the highlight matches. Frizoeva versus X Skelly. Why X Skelly is in LC, I have no idea.
I just think Surfy wasn't feeling up to playing. I don't know.
I don't know.
I think we just figured we have good support for LC.
Okay.
So just slot the good all-arounder.
Alright, so X Skelly is gonna have a tall task because it's up against Frizzo, who has been proven to be as good as a player as he once was back in the day. He's never dropped. He's been always been consistent, and I think Frizzo will win this one. Unfortunately. And
I hate to say it, but I might agree.
Alright, next up we have DOU.
Prove us wrong, Skelly. Do it.
Do it. Alright, Devils OU, we have Shadow Monster versus Actuarily.
Hype.
This one's hype as frick. This one's very close. Both are very even in terms of playing skill. I'm thinking to go with Actuarily, but only slightly.
Yes, that is a good decision.
Yeah, but it's a very even match, and I think it will be consistent. But Shadow can absolutely play, but I think Actuarily has the. I think Actuarily, I think is above Shadow in terms of skill.
Good.
And for finally for SS Mono, we have Prince of All Tacos versus Maroon. This won't be close. Simply put, this won't be close at all. Maroon to win this one. That's all I can say. All right, that does it for the Solgaleos versus Laprases. Time to move on to the next matchup. All right, let's move on now to the Jubilife Jirachis versus the Santaloon Swamperts. First up, SS Ubers, Panu versus FC. Yeah. Curb stomp. I'm betting. FC will win.
I'm personally rooting for Panu, but I think FC wins this.
Yeah, FC wins lol. It's like John Cena. SSOU, Star Master versus Failures. Another curb stomp, unfortunately, and unfortunately for Failures.
I like how we have to say Star Master's full name because there's another star player.
I know, right? It's so hard to distinguish between Star and Star Real because we both call him Star. Yeah, so Star Master to win this one over Failures, unfortunately. Despite how much I'm rooting for Failures, Star Master is easily the better player. Next up, we have SSOU, probably the best OU matchup of the week. Starreal versus TJ. Scary, this one.
Oh, I don't know who wins this.
Yeah,
I don't
scary, this
really
one.
know if I've seen TJ play much, so
This one is scary, and I hope both bring not an underwhelming game, but an actually great game. I'm thinking TJ to win this.
meaning you hope they both don't bring stall.
Yep, yeah. Yeah. Warning. Yeah, but I think TJ will win this, but slightly. Or maybe not. We'll see.
Interesting.
But maybe not. We'll see. We'll see. Next up is probably the closest UU match. We're just hitting all the big boy plays. Shiba.
I don't know how close this actually is.
You don't think so? You think Shiba will dominate Dunox?
Maybe dominate isn't the right word, but I feel like it's a somewhat clear choice.
All right, Shiba to win over Dunox. We've seen now both these guys' plays, and yeah, Shiba is easily the better player. So,
Shiba and UU is scary,
good job, Jirachis.
especially at 6K.
You've gotten a steal. You've gotten a steal in Shiba. Next up, John Filch versus Theo in SSRU. This one is interesting. Because I know
I don't really know.
Theo can play somewhat decently in lower tiers, but John Filch is in an RU team tour right now. So
Oh,
yeah, John Filch to win this one.
I guess so.
All right. Next up, SSNU Psy versus Team Charm.
I believe in charm.
Yeah, I'm judging these twos as a play style and skill. I think Charm has been very consistent over the past couple of weeks, and even returning to form in Pokemon Showdown. He's doing good for himself, and I think Charm will win over Gambit.
And I don't know how relevant this is anymore, but charm was literally in, did very well in tours like NU Slam, NU Open, or NU Swiss. I don't actually know if that's all of them. He was in NU Slam. I know that's one of them.
Yeah, so the
I
Charm.
don't quite know for the other two. It was either one of those or both.
But yeah,
A
Charm.
lot of NU.
Charm can easily play NU. Just don't play like Sensei Axu versus Team Charm, okay? I
No,
will.
actually, if they both play like that, then that's a fun game.
Yep. I want that. I want that in BLT. So, all right. Next up, SSPU, Avarice versus Blimax.
Wait a minute, wasn't Sensei Axie versus Team Charm a TLT
TLT,
game?
yeah, TLT. But I would love to see a version of that in BLT.
Yeah, does need an equivalent.
All right. SSPU, Avarice versus Blimax. This one is interesting. Blimax and PU. I know Blimax can play PU. Yeah, Blimax can play PU very well. Avarice is a lower tiers. Yeah, Avarice is a lower tiers main, and he plays PU the most. But I think Blimax will easily like snap a win here because he's too good.
Wow.
Yeah, Blimax. All right, so Blimax to win this one. Next,
Or Avarice.
Poor Avarice, yeah, he's been getting in terms of tours rooms events. Avarice has not had the best of luck, unfortunately.
Really hasn't.
Yeah, I feel bad for the dude, but yeah, Blimax to win this one. Next one, SSLC, Excelsior versus Pap. I think if
A
Excelsior,
little underwhelming, but actually good.
I I want Excelsior to play as his best because if Excel is at his best, this will be a fun game.
Oh yeah, definitely. I am hoping to see Peak Excelsior.
Yeah, I'm hoping to
I
see
don't
Peak
think
Excelsior
so.
versus Current Pap. So I think I still think Pap will win, but If Excelsior plays his best and
Yeah,
is
because we have, instead of peak Excelsior, I think we have current Excelsior. I don't think current Excelsior is peak.
semi-washed Excelsior versus current like LC goading Pap. So yeah, I think
Yeah,
this will be a pretty match. All right, SS doubles Jonas or Jamatos versus Fangame 10. This will be a fun one. This will be a fun one, I bet. You've battled both of these players in room tours. Who do you think is better?
uh, 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 good question.
Alright. Because I'm 50-50 on this one, because I think both are even. I think Jonas will win. I think Jomatos has much more of an upswing when it comes to doubles. And currently the meta is
What does
based
that
around
even mean?
like he's been playing and improving in doubles, basically.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, fan game is good, and this will definitely a fun match if both are brought their A game. But I think Jonas will win this one. And finally, in SS Mono, we have Maki versus Plunder. Now I know Plunder has played in a lot of Mono tours, so don't count Plunder out just because he is slotted here against a goat in Maki.
I don't know. Is Plunder good?
He's all right. He's decent. I'm thinking I'm going with Maki here, but only slightly.
He has a badge.
He does have a badge, but I'm thinking Maki to win, but only slightly. I won't. I
Okay.
won't be surprised if Plunder wins. All right, finally we have the Dressrosa Dracovicious versus the Sunny Shore Snorlaxes. Ignore the background. Uh, First up, SS Ubers. We have Leroux versus Royal Reloaded. I don't know why they slotted Royal Reloaded here in Ubers. Do you?
Yeah, no, I don't.
Alright, Leroux. Leroux to win this one. Pretty easy opponent for Leroux. Let's hope you do well this
Yeah,
time.
Laru is Laru.
Yeah, let's hope you
Well,
do
we
well in
never
a.
saw peak Laru do the hacks.
Yeah, let's hope you do well this time,
I
Leroux.
feel we will now see peak Laru, hopefully.
Hopefully we see peak Leroux.
At the worst time for someone like Royal Reloaded to.
Especially since Royal Reloaded actually has a good record in the past. In the last year's BLT, I think he beat GXE. So
I don't know if his record was good, but yeah, he beat GXE and Excelsior.
which is weird, but okay. I don't know how we'll do against Leroux, but we'll
Neither of
see.
those games were good though.
Yeah. Next up, SSOU Henny Sun versus TDNT. I've heard Henny.
Uh,
I've heard Henny San is good in OU, but I've heard better things about TDNT, so I'm going with TDNT on this one.
okay.
Better player in general. This one, OU, Clean versus Zoro Dark.
Interesting.
I'm gonna go on a hot take on this and say Zoro Dark wins in a
Huh?
dominant. I'm saying Zoro Dark wins in a very dominant fashion.
Eh?
Yeah, I'm going ballsy on this one.
I'd say.
I know Clean is good, but can he hold a candle to Zoro Dark? I don't think so.
Probably.
You think so?
Now, Zoro Dark is probably one of the most experienced players here, sure, but
I think
I
experience will
don't
win.
know.
I think experience will win over Clean. Next up.
Clean's pretty damn good. I wouldn't quite say that.
All right. If it Clean turns out, I'll eat my words. Next up, SSUU. We have Dugza versus ESM.
Interesting.
Uh, Dugza versus ESM. This one's an interesting match. Both are very experienced. Dugza more so than ESM in terms of UU. Um,
Oh,
I'm thinking Dugza to win.
all right.
So yeah,
Wouldn't be totally surprised if SMM pulled it off though.
yeah. If ESM pulls it off, I will not be surprised. But Dugza's definitely got the experience on this one. Next up, SSRU, we have Crucify versus Gorex.
Uh,
This one's close, but I'm thinking. Who are you thinking?
I don't know. That's why I went the first time you said this.
Okay, fine. I'm thinking. I haven't seen Crucify play RU, so I'm gonna go with Gorex because I know he's played RU before. But we'll see. If Crucify turns out to be an RU goat, then I will eat my words.
Okay.
Next up, SSNU, probably the most hypest hype matchup in terms of Tours Room. At least for us. At least for us, it's a very hype matchup. GXE versus GW. This one's fun. I know.
Yes.
Okay, so GW we know is an NU main through and through, but he's facing GXE, who is GXE.
Yeah, GXE do be GXE.
You know what? I'm thinking I'll go with the NU main this time. I think GW to win. But I won't be surprised if GXE wins. But GW should win
Yeah, I
this
don't
one.
think anyone would be surprised if GXE wins.
Yeah, because the man can pick up any tier and can play well. That is the true GXE form. Next up, SSPU. Drud versus Ninja.
Interesting.
I'm thinking Ninja. Like, out of the two's playing styles, I think Ninja has the better play. I think
Sure, Ninja isn't washed at all.
I don't think Ninja has been washed. Even now in room tours, I don't think Ninja's been washed. Like
Okay.
when he plays the lower tiers, he can absolutely play well. So Ninja.
Yeah, between the two of them, I think Ninja is probably better.
Yeah. Next up, SSLC. Close
Oh,
one. This one
this is a hype one.
Ace Hunter versus Taz. Probably one of my favorite matchups.
Doesn't get much better than that.
What are you thinking? I'm thinking Taz, but only slightly. I won't be surprised if Ace Hunter wins.
I don't know who's better.
Taz has been
They're
winning a
both
lot
LC
of.
goats, aren't they?
Yeah, they're both LC goats, but I think Taz has much more of the experience and much more of the credibility to back up.
Oh, is that so?
Yeah,
Oh yeah, I guess this guy's been around since 2014. This guy's a.
yeah. So Taz to win this
Well,
one.
let's see. This one's a LC Circuit champion, and this guy, oh, he has a trophy. What's the trophy for?
Let me guess, LC Circuit.
SCL champion.
All right then. So yeah, Taz to win. Next,
All right then.
next up is probably the memeiest match in SS
Oh
doubles.
boy.
Crunchman versus Z Strats. The meme match. Who will win the meme? Who
Oh,
will out meme the meme?
probably Z strats.
Probably in a more serious match. I think Z Strats is better than Crunchman, but Crunchman has been known to build kind of wackily. He's been building kind of wacky sets. So
Yeah, but I heard Z-Strats might bring memes.
yeah, and Z Strats has been doing a lot of singles toward. I know that Z Strats has been doing NU quite recently, and it's actually really good. But yeah, going
Uh,
back going back to
oh,
the
okay.
going back to his main, I think in Z Strats to win this one. Yeah,
He could bring memes, and I almost hope he does.
I hope both bring memes. Like
Yes,
doubles
yes,
LC it up,
please.
doubles LC it up, whatever. And finally, another hype match. SS Mono, Cogulus versus Attribute.
Yeah, that's a pretty good mono match.
Now, Cogulus has done really well in a BLT in the past. But Attribute is a BLT veteran and has done really well.
Mm.
I'm thinking Attribute to win this one. And I think that because I think Cogulus will run through the rest of the mono pool, but his only loss will be to Attribute. That's my 5 head prediction.
You think he'll even beat Maroon?
Maybe. But yeah, I think Attribute will win this one and will tear the monopool quite well. But Kagelis will not hold back and bring us a pretty good match.
Yeah, I imagine this will be quite the good match. And while I do agree with Attribute winning, I wouldn't exactly say I'm certain.
You thinking Kagelis?
Cogulus is pretty
Thinking
good.
Kagelis would be better? Oh no, would play to his A game.
Probably.
Mm. Okay. And that is the end of the BLT Predict video. Tune in next
This
week.
went on for a little while.
Yep, tune in next week when we cover week 1 matchups, or no, the week 1 happenings, and we predict week 2. Exciting times.
Yeah, oh boy, next week it's gonna be a very long video, isn't it?
Yep, very long video. So prepare your voice for that. So, please like this video, leave a comment, subscribe, click that notification bell so you wouldn't miss any of my future videos once they come out. And we'll see you next week for the continuation of the biggest BLT in history, arguably. So,
Yeah, I mean, literally, it had perhaps one of the biggest pools
yep.
in terms of drafting.
Yep. So anyway, thank you all for watching. This has been a very sick Mikoi, signing out.
Get well soon, Mikoi, and goodbye.
Thank you.